Hi there, I'm Dr. Cheryl Fraser. Welcome to another special Love Bite that I'm calling a small series, Love in the Age of COVID-19. And what I mean by that is we need to look at reality. And the fact is right now the world is going through a lot of changes, a lot of really difficult things happening, impacting each of us in individual ways and as communities and as a global nation. So I'm bringing to you some teachings. How can we draw on the strength of our love bond with our partner, our friends, our family? How can we, under pressure, allow the best of ourselves to be liberated? How can we do our best to stay calm during uncertain and scary times? So I want to bring to you today a teaching drawn from Buddhist philosophy, from psychology, from the work I have the privilege to do with individuals and couples and groups. And what I want to teach to you today is this idea that when we're caught up in an emotion, and I'm going to focus on a negative emotion for today, maybe anxiety, maybe outright fear or panic, maybe sadness or grief, maybe senses of anger, helplessness, hopelessness. What's actually going on in our human experience when we're gripped by a negative or a positive emotion? Emotion, I'm going to offer this way of thinking about it, and I want you to try this on for size. An emotion is simply A plus B. It's made up of two things. An emotion is physiology, your physical response, your biological response, plus a story. Well, what does that mean? Let's say right now we think about what's happening in the world, we feel fear or anxiety or despair. What's actually going on? What's going on is we're, first of all, having a physical response. Various things are going on in the body when we're anxious or feeling despairing. We've got cortisol and adrenaline in our bloodstream. There can be changes in our neuropsychology, our neurology, our brain hormones, etc. A number of changes. Our blood pressure can go up and our heart rate can go up as we start to feel a sense of panic. There's a biological, physical thing going on. That's part A of our anxiety, fear, worry, despair, etc. Part B is a story. It's a narration, a plot, a movie that we play in our head that combines with the physical, and the outcome is a negative emotion. So the story might be, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Oh no, are my loved ones going to be safe? Oh my goodness, how many people will die during this outbreak of this virus? Oh wow, are the world powers able to keep us safe? Oh no, what can I do if my resources feel like they're getting low, or I'm concerned about going shopping, or maybe the shops where I live are shut down? The story then feeds the physiology. Do you start to see this? Do you start to feel this? Emotion is physiology plus story. That's the way I like to teach this. Break it down. You can change the story, and that can help change the physiology. This follows a little bit to what I taught you in the last video. But if you find yourself, as all of us do at some point in every day right now, in a negative emotional state, fear, anxiety, grief, sadness, irritation, anger, helplessness, stop as best you can and examine the story. What the heck story do you have playing on the TV show in your mind? Is it a disaster movie? Is it a movie of blame and what if and if only we'd done it different? Is it a movie about grief and despair? The thinking and the story we create in our head, we do have some control over. Change the channel. Turn it to a channel with a more hopeful, reality-based story. If what's running in your head is, oh my God, it's a disaster, we're all going to be in trouble, I don't know if we'll ever recover, I want you to change that to a different channel with a reality-based story. Something like, this is a very scary time. There's some really terrible things happening in the world. My heart goes out to people who've lost loved ones. I have some fear and concern, but I'm going to take compassionate action. I'm going to be wise, protect myself and those I love. I'm going to remember the big picture, and I'm going to take one step at a time, remembering my ethics, remembering my heart, remembering to love my family, my friends, and strangers as best I can. Emotion is physiology plus story. Sometimes we can't immediately change the physiology. When you're flooded with adrenaline, cortisol, and panic chemicals, you can't make them go away. It takes at least 30 minutes for those to calm down. But what you can do immediately is change the channel. You can choose to create a better mental story so that your body gets a chance to regroup. I hope that was helpful. If you think it's helpful for anyone you know, please send it along, share this, and I will be also offering some extra teachings on Facebook. If you want to know about that, look below for some information. You can like my Facebook page, and then you'll get to know when I'm going to show up and teach some longer meditations and calming meditations, teach a bit more about how we can use our mind in difficult times, and relate it as ever to your love life. Love the people around you. If you find yourself anxious, turn to them and ask for a hug. Give a hug if you're self-isolated together and touching. Give a virtual hug if you shouldn't be in close contact. You can sit and look with your hands on your hearts. Let's do it together now and practice a virtual hug. Put your hands on your heart. Take a deep breath into your heart and send silently through your eyes as much love and compassion, joy and grace to the person you're looking at or imagining, or to me, or to someone you love. And share the beauty and the compassion that is part of being human on this planet in the best of times and in the worst of times. And I'll be back with you next week to talk a bit more about how to keep our hearts alive, open, vulnerable, and brave during uncertain times.